The avatar state is the most significant aspect within an avatar, and it comes with a fair amount of mysteries and curiosities. But have you ever wondered how dangerous or how powerful the avatar state really is? From mind-blowing feats to life or death moments, the avatar state is a lot more than you might think. Ultimate power boost that defines balance of the entire world. Let's break it down. The avatar state is often seen as a defense mechanism, and honestly that's probably the most popular take out there. The idea is pretty simple. Whenever something really bad happens, the avatar gets triggered and bam, the avatar state kicks in. They light up all glowing and powerful, tapping into the knowledge and skills and energy of the past avatar. It saves the day from chaos and destruction, and it's almost like a backup plan to save the avatar and everything around it. But that's not the full explanation. Sure, it works as a defense mechanism, but the avatar state isn't just about protecting the avatar. It's about keeping balance in the world. It's not just there to react to danger. It's there to fulfill the avatar duty as the bridge between both worlds. So yeah, a defense mechanism is cool, but it's a lot deeper than that. In short, there are two things that perfectly explain the avatar state. One, it's a power amplifier, ramping the user's power by giving them unlimited years of experience paired with the boost of spiritual energy they have by tapping into the power of Rava. And two, the avatar state is the spirit of reincarnation. This isn't just about raw power, it's about legacy. The avatar state taps into those past skills and wisdom. Think of Aang taking away bending, something that was only possible because Aang was able to tap into the avatar state and find the lion turtle. I don't think that would have been possible if he didn't have access to the avatar state. For inexperienced avatars like Aang, before he trained with Guru Patik, avatar state could feel more like a curse than a gift. He often came out of it horrified, haunted by the chaos and destruction he unleashed. But the mental toll isn't the only issue, it's also physically taxing. Aang spent a century trapped in an iceberg. This was only possible because he was in the avatar state, and it cut his biological lifespan short, leading to his death at just 66 years old. So it's safe to assume that prolonged use of the avatar state eats away at a person's life energy, similar to what we see happening to Wan whenever he used Rava's power before they fuse. But that's not all. When in the avatar state, the avatar gains access to bending techniques they haven't even learned yet. I mean, that sounds pretty awesome, right? Not quite. Without conscious control, this often leads to massive collateral damage. Things get even crazier when the avatar challenge past incarnations. They temporarily take on that incarnation's appearance and voice, and also knowledge and experience. Technically, the past avatar just takes over the current avatar's body. Aang did this twice, one time with Roku in the fire temple, and another time with Kyoshi at that festival. While it might seem helpful to let the former avatar take the reins, it's not always the smartest move. When Aang heads to the fire temple hoping to connect with Avatar Roku during the solstice, things started to get serious, and Zhao fleets surround the temple. Luckily, Aang was able to pull it off and connect with Roku, but things go off the charts. Roku takes control of Aang's body in the avatar state, and all hell breaks loose. Lava bursts from the ground, walls collapse, and by the end of it, the entire fire temple was destroyed. I mean, Aang didn't want to destroy the fire temple. All he wanted to do was get some crucial info, but the sheer power of the avatar state, especially under Roku's influence, left behind a path of unintentional destruction. This moment is a huge wake-up call. It shows just how little control Aang had over the avatar state. At this point in his journey, even with best intentions, that kind of power is a double-edged sword, capable of creating chaos on a massive scale. The avatar state gave us insane feats that the avatars pulled off, like Kyoshi. This avatar wasn't just strong, she was crazy powerful and dangerous. She literally cracked a whole peninsula off a continent and turned it into an island by itself. Bro, like, I don't think you understand how crazy of a feat that is. And she did this while utilizing power of the avatar state. She was able to earthbend an entire continent and set it by itself, bro. Like, that's mind-blowing. And before that, we were shown avatars using the avatar state to do other feats, like Avatar Sito, who could simultaneously bend 3 volcanoes. And if you want to look at the crazy feats of the avatar state, we can look at the last battle between Aang and Fire Lord Ozai, when he revoked the Fire Lord's bending ability. Aang was literally getting cooked by Fire Lord Ozai, given that Sozen's comet enhanced Ozai's ability, and Ozai was already a very powerful firebender. But once Aang went into the avatar state, he was able to bend 4 elements simultaneously, and he literally had Firelight Ozai begging for his life. And then he just straight up ripped his bending abilities away. However, one of the most significant moments of the Avatar state isn't an intense battle, but it's actually when Aang activates the Avatar state to keep him safe. Let's not forget how he pulled himself into a stasis for a century to escape the Fire Nation's wrath. This isn't just a nap, it was a century-long pause, making him the last hope for the world. Even though it was an involuntary action, the emergency use of the Avatar state ended up being one of the most significant moments in the Avatar history, in my opinion at least, setting the stage for everything that follows and showing us just how powerful the Avatar state can be. Now here's where things get even crazier. When the Avatar loses control, it's like their consciousness gets shoved in the back seat, letting the past lives control the shots. Remember Aang's final battle with Ozai when he was about to pass judgment? That wasn't Aang, it was all the previous lives taking over. It's also a possibility that one Avatar could take control of the current Avatar's body and continue their reign, similar to how Aang was able to stay in the iceberg for 100 years. For example, if Kyoshi wanted to continue living her life as the Avatar, whenever Aang went into the Avatar state, theoretically she could just take over his body for, let's say, 100 years. I mean, and that's pretty crazy when you look at it, but let me know what you guys think about that theory. But the true power of the Avatar state lies within the near-perfect knowledge. When channeling their past life, the Avatar theoretically has access to all the bending techniques and skills of the previous Avatar. The only limit is how much the current Avatar knows and can control. While the Avatar state gives them an incredible edge, they still have to be able to tap into the right abilities to make full use of the power. But there has to be balance, so all great things have a weakness. The iconic moment that stands out is when Azula shoots down Aang. The Avatar state might give the Avatar insane bending power, but it doesn't make their body any stronger. If an enemy is quick enough, they can land a solid hit and cause some serious damage, like breaking a limb, and even if the Avatar knows how to heal, it won't help them much in the middle of a fast-paced fight. They wouldn't have the time to use those slow techniques, and they'd have to keep fighting with the injury that would slow them down. If the enemy keeps up with that level of attack, they could actually win. Just look at Azula, she was fast enough to take advantage of Aang's charging time and hit him with a lightning blast, proving how important speed can be in a fight against the Avatar state. One of the most debatable weaknesses of the Avatar state though is the idea that if the Avatar dies in it, the entire cycle ends. It's a pretty intense concept and the fans have gone back and forth on it. So yeah, the Avatar state has its weakness. It's not a cure-all or a very indestructible power that cannot be countered. While the Avatar state is powerful both to the people around the Avatar and also the Avatar themselves, it's a ton of unfiltered knowledge and wisdom there to balance the universe. But what's your thought on the Avatar state, and what was your favorite moment of the Avatar state in action? Let me know down in the comments, and if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe.